Yo, MT, you won the giveaway from last week's video. Congratulations and enjoy your hot comics list. Another week, another list of the hottest comics. Let's get into it at number 10 because I'm hyped because we have a lot of blue chip keys, comic books that traditionally hold their value no matter what is going on in the market at number 10 with Amazing Spider-Man 129, the first appearance of The Punisher.
And don't forget about the Jackal. Yeah, this is one of those books that just always maintains and increases in value regardless of what's going on in the media. We have a CGC 8.5 sale that went for $2,000 in December, now selling for $2,750.
8.0s, 7.0s, and even the low 3.0s are all seeing increases of up to 4%. And how does this happen? All right. How does this happen without Punisher getting a movie or hearing rumors of him being incorporated into the MCU on Disney Plus or something? Well, it's because there is such a staggering amount of sales of this book across so many different platforms that we can check that cause records to continue to break. So let's actually go over some blue chip numbers of 2020.
Key Collector doesn't just go on eBay to see how many of these comics were graded. They use multiple sources, which include GPA, My Comic Shop, Heritage, and eBay as well to determine how many of these copies were sold. Amazing Spider-Man 129 had 741 graded copies sold in 2020.
Yeah, there were a lot of copies of that book, just like another favorite of mine, ASM 300, the first full appearance of Venom, seeing a total of 1,309 in 2020.
Don't forget about New Mutants 98, the first appearance of Deadpool, which had 1,185 graded comics sold in 2020.
Hulk 181, the fan favorite Bronze Age key, first full appearance of Wolverine. Argue with me about it in the comment section below, seeing a total copies sold of graded issues of 621.
And what was once the poor man's Hulk 181, but is now its rightful key as it deserves to be, Giant Size X-Men #1. Last year, there were 587 graded comics sold.
Even Ultimate Fallout 4 had some crazy sales last year, a total amount of 1,590 graded copies in 2020.
And that's a modern book, so if you look at a big blue chip Marvel key from the 60s like X-Men #1, they had 171 copies sold last year.
With the sheer amount of opportunities on a weekly basis these keys have to break their records is why we're seeing them creep up on our list on a regular basis and why they're holding their value and being labeled as blue chip keys. Now, let's take a look at number 9, but not before we tell you about the best app in existence. It supplies us with the information we need to make your videos every single week. We're talking about Key Collector Comics. Use the code TOM101 to unlock a free 1-week subscription and to support the show and get access to a wealth of comic knowledge that's going to save you time and money.
Number 9 on the list is another blue chip key. It's always been a well-respected book, but it has benefited from new speculation as well. We're talking about Tomb of Dracula 10, the first appearance of Blade.
We saw a 9.6 shatter records this week, once going for $5,200, increasing by $1,000, selling for $6,200. And we know Blade's coming to the MCU, but what we didn't know is recent rumors that are pointing towards a new villain being cast. Could we be seeing Dracula? Could we see our Vampire Slayer go up against the oldest living vampire? Oh man, I am super stoked. I got my Tomb of Dracula 1 graded at 9.8. I'm feeling pretty good this week.
And real fans know that Blade is responsible for the first successful Marvel movie.
Damn right, Gem. Oh, and now let's take a look at number 8 on the list because you know the Turtles are going to make it on here at some point. We have TMNT issue number 1, the first print. And here's the thing. There are no affordable copies listed on eBay, really anywhere for sale. And we're going to prove it to you right now. We mentioned this sometimes, but let's take a look at what TMNT records were and what they're being listed at. And let's chat about some record breakers.
Man, these sellers are out there fishing. We have a CGC 9.0, which has a current high sale of $14,995, which is a sale back from July, currently listed for $28,500. That's a $13,505 difference.
We also have a 9.2, once going for $11,500 back in 2019, being listed for a difference of 23 grand. Right now, the buy it now is $34,500. And tell them about the 9.4.
The 9.4 with a current high sale of $36,000 from just last month is currently listed for $55,000, which is a $19,000 difference.
Then we have the very coveted 9.6, seeing a $39,000 difference in asking price, once going for $18,000 back in March of 2020, less than a year ago, being listed for $57,000. Now, let's get to this week's record breakers. We have a third print to chat about, a CGC 9.2, once going for $13.25, now selling for $14.25.
Then we have an 8.0 of that third printing, which has a previous high of $850, selling now for $986, almost that four-figure mark.
And now we're at number 7 on our list. Don't forget to hit that like button, comic fam. I know who you are that don't do it. We're chatting about Uncanny X-Men, issue number 1, the blue chip mutant key that everyone's trying to secure before we see their inevitable introduction to the MCU, still breaking records.
I'm so happy to see this book finally getting the love and respect that it deserves. We have a CGC 5.5 with a previous high sale of $11,200. It's up 12% with the recent record-breaking sale of $12,600.
And I love reporting on the entry-level grades. I mean, the 1.0, that's typically where people begin to invest in these bigger books. Also seeing a 24% price hike. We are seeing once going for $2,500, now selling for $3,100. It's not just about the high grade comics, comic fam. It's about the right grade to invest in and when. Now, let's take a look at number 6 on the list because, you know, we have some Silver Surfer spec after this week's of rumors. We have Fantastic Four issue number 49, the first full appearance of Galactus and the second appearance of our surfing galactic warrior.
And the first cover appearance of them both, and easily the best cover of the Holy Trinity of Silver Age Marvel keys. Another book that is so good to see on this list. I preferred over FF48, but we got some record-breaking sales from FF49. So a CGC 7.5 had a previous high sale of $2,000. It's up 42%, selling for $2,850.
These prices are starting to move quick after rumors about the word cosmic being incorporated into the Eternals. Could we be seeing the introduction of cosmic energy that caused the Fantastic Four to get their powers, that levels the Silver Surfer? Could we be seeing our galactic storytelling? Jim Starlin, where you at? It's coming soon, and members want to get their hands on copies before they shoot up even more.
Number 5 on the list, you know we weren't going to get through this list without showing some Star Wars love. We're talking about Heir to the Empire, number 1, the newsstand edition, the first appearance of Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade.
This newsstand is just further proof that collectors are hunting for the scarcest copies of comics that are found in the modern age that were traditionally very attainable. And it's showing by the crazy records, because when a $2,500 sale for a 9.8 newsstand broke, jaws dropped. And last week, it was shattered by a $3,500 sale.
The first appearance of Ahsoka Tano in live action in The Mandalorian didn't only propel her first appearance, but that name drop, letting you know who the next big bad's gonna be, is doing wonders for this book as well.
Now we're looking at number 4 on the list, one of the most respected modern age keys. We have Batman Adventures 12, the first full appearance of Harley Quinn in a comic book. But you know what? This isn't in Detective Comics or Batman. This isn't in Batman continuity. This is in the BTOS universe, and it's still shattering records.
We got a question for the comic book community. Is there a comic book that's introduced a new female character that's as sought after as Batman Adventures 12?
Comic fam, I got to know your thoughts in the comment section below. It'll enter you to win an In-Hyuk Lee Wolverine number 1 variant I did. Is Harley Quinn the most sought out female key comic book appearance of all time? I got to know, because if thinking of Black Widow, I'm thinking of Wonder Woman. And these, although are very respected and legacy characters, their first appearances are so expensive, especially if you're considering All-Star Comics 8, you know, break out that wallet. You're going to leverage your 401k here. I think that Batman Adventures 12, coupled with the fact that we grew up with this very highly respected Batman universe, that combined pushes this comic book to blue chip status.
And then the character Harley Quinn herself, man, just appeals to the masses. Females love her, guys love her. The whole relationship aspect with Harley Quinn and the Joker, it just makes for the perfect storm.
which is why last week we saw an all-time record breaker after over 2 years hit $2,500. And last week increased by 4% for really no reason, selling for
$2,625.
Let's blaze on over to number 3 on the list with Batman 313, the first appearance of Tim Fox, who is the next Batman for DC's Future State. Issue 1 just came out, and I thought it was all right.
Members have been specking on Tim Fox since the 5G rumors, and now that we have him appearing in DC Future State, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it, Gem. We have records being broken because of the prospect that he'll be seeing further issues with him leading as the Dark Knight. Once going for records of $500 in December for a 9.6 being shattered this past week with the debut of this new issue selling at $900.
Yeah, we know that Future State's only supposed to last for a couple of months and everything should get back to normal in March. But hey, if Tim Fox makes a big splash as the next Batman, maybe we'll continue to see more of him.
I dug a lot of the comics, man. What did you think about the Future State as well as Tim Fox taking over the role as Batman? Because I think that may be my favorite thing to happen.
Well, first of all, I had super low expectations, so I was pleasantly surprised with the first round of Future State. Swamp Thing by Ron V was amazing. I was digging the new Wonder Woman. I was digging the new Harley. The next Batman issue or story in itself was good, but it does have 2 backup stories that I wasn't a big fan of, which was The Outsiders and The Arkham Knights. But the Tim Fox Batman story was solid.
Comic Fam, I gotta know your thoughts in the comment section below. I was pleasantly surprised, and I will be reading more. Now let's take a look at number 2 on the list because we have some Star Wars spec paying off. Star Wars issue number 43, the first appearance of Lando.
First of all, this is a great cover. You got Lando on the front. It's a scene ripped right from the movie, but I don't know if I like what it's selling for. I mean, I understand Star Wars keys are hot, that Lando's about to get a new show, but this is not the first time we're seeing Lando in movies. He was in the original movies. He was portrayed by Childish Gambino in the Solo movie, and this book is not new, so I don't know if I like these prices that it's going for right now.
Well, let's take a look at where this comic was and where it's at right now. Back in 2019, we were seeing prices of a 9.8 copy sell for $153. Then we saw back in December, 9.8s reach $450, which makes sense. But then this past week, a 9.8 sale, the highest grade ever, sold for $1,000. I hear you, Gem. Let's kind of go down this rabbit hole because yes, if we see maybe recasting, if we see someone reprise the role that we've already seen on screen, it may not lead to this grandiose key moment that Ahsoka Tano or even Grand Admiral Thrawn has had. However, there are narratives about Lando that have been unknown. You know, what happened post him losing the Millennium Falcon? Post his rise in Cloud City. If these are narratives we may see, heck, there are ties to Darth Maul in this time frame. We know Obi-Wan is slated for a show. This is all around the right timing. And if we see Childish Gambino reprise his role, he may be one to lead it, to push these books to new grounds, considering he was the best part of the Han Solo movie, which was critically panned.
Yeah, my thing is I understand Ahsoka's key taking off, even Admiral Thrawn, because it's the first time we're going to see these guys in live action. But to me, if the Lando key was so good, this book would have been expensive the whole time.
Comic Fam, I gotta know your thoughts in the comment section below about this book doubling in price in under 30 days. And peep the description. You can help support what we do here for you every single week by joining the Mystery Mail Call, our community where we get an opportunity to send you comics every single month. We teamed up with Lucio Perillo, and every member is getting a Cersei Eternals #1 variant only available in the box. You only got a week to join, and let's hit them with the #1 hottest book in the world.
Number 2 on the list was Star Wars 43, which is actually the second appearance of Boba Fett. So you know what number 1 on this list is. That's right, Star Wars 42, the first appearance of Boba Fett. We had no idea Boba Fett was going to show up in The Mandalorian. We thought he was dead. So when he showed up, even though he had a little bit of dad bod, everybody went crazy. And you would think that's it. The book's going to get a little bit of a spike and then taper off. But we also got the post-credit scene of Boba Fett introducing his new show.
The Book of Boba is coming. And we heard rumors that we were going to see Boba in season 2 of The Mandalorian, but will it be a flashback? Will it just be kind of like a callback type of thing? But no, he was introduced, and there is room to grow on this book because we have over a year time before we see the book of Boba hit the screen. Let's take a look at some record breakers because this comic isn't stopping.
So we don't have a record breaker for a 9.8, but it did come in just $130 short of that all-time high of $2,500.
Just shy of the all-time high of $2,500, it essentially is going to be considered as someone putting up the highest amount of money for this comic that it's ever gone for. And we also see a 9.6 falling short of $60 with a $1,200 sale, ostensibly the same price.
All right, so forget all that essentially the same price. Let's talk about the record-breaking prices. We got a CGC 9.4 who had a previous high of $535 in just December. 68% increase now, selling at $900. But wait, we got the newsstand edition, which had a previous high of $675 with a 22% increase, selling for $825. Now, if you're looking at these numbers, you can see that the newsstand was previously higher than the regular edition, so we have room to grow on this CGC 9.4.
All grades lower than 9.2 are all seeing price hikes of near 22%. Star Wars fever is on an all-time high, and Comic Fam, we appreciate you being here with us every single week. Hit the subscribe button, slap the like button, and as always,
geek responsibly and stay minty fresh.
Enough
said. Guys, in addition to subscribing here, come check me out at GemMint Collectibles. I do the weekly comic book day reviews, statue unboxings, and omnibus hauls. And check out the other videos that we have here on the channel as well. Peace.